I think this G7 meeting is sort of the end of the first act of the Trump presidency, where we had this first year where it was a wait and see, will the adults in the room be able to control him? We've had this sort of intermediate or intermission where Trump is sort of throwing off the constraints and actually starting to follow through on a lot of the promises he made in terms of disrupting the accepted way of doing things. Now, the question has always been, how will the rest of the world respond? As long as it was still a wait and see period, there would have been a very high risk of responding too firmly, because maybe what you're worried about doesn't play out, and all of a sudden you've made yourself an enemy. Now that Trump is making it clear that he's not going to hold back, and he's actually going to hurt America's closest friends and closest allies, there's really no logic for the other leaders in Canada to not circle the wagons and push back. And the other thing is,
so concretely, how does that work? How does Emmanuel Macron? How does Angela Merkel? How does Justin Trudeau react?
Sure. And again, there's a huge power asymmetry because the United States remains the most powerful country on earth, no question. But the European Union economy is bigger than the United States economy in aggregate. Now, there's a problem of unity and getting a common front. But the EU is a trade policy making body. That's what they do. So getting into a trade war with the EU isn't the same thing as applying sanctions on Iran that are harder to get around. The EU can fight back. And if Canada's fighting back and Mexico's fighting back and China's fighting back, it means that the US is picking fights with everyone all at once.